What's up guys, Marco here, and you asked me for a video on scaling your Google AdWords campaigns. So actually just a few days ago one of my students sent me a screenshot of his results that you can see right here, and I decided that I kind of want to mix the things he did with my strategies and techniques so that you can get a really good overview on scaling with Google AdWords. Now, there are generally two types of scaling. The first one is you're currently not spending your budget. So for example, you have a $50 budget per day, but you only spend $30, so you need to scale in order to spend that whole budget. And the second type is you have, let's say, a $50 budget, but you want to spend more than that. So you want, for example, to spend $100 a day without losing your current ROI. These are the two general types of scaling, and I will discuss both of them in a second in this video right on my computer so that you can follow better. Before that, just one more thing. If you want to get a free guide on scaling with 5 actionable tips, you should visit this site right here. It's also in the description, where I'm giving away this scaling checklist for Google AdWords. It's a very comprehensive guide. You can get it immediately and follow. You can even use it while watching this video right afterwards. So guys, I hope that you will enjoy this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to this channel if you do. And let's jump right into the computer and get started. Alright, so here we are on our dashboard, and you see this account here. When you start scaling, the first thing that you need to check is your competitive metrics. You go here to columns, modify columns, and choose your competitive metrics right here in order to make sure what the next logical step to scale actually is. So in our case, we see that our search loss IS budget is 0%. So we didn't lose any impressions due to our budget. So we know already that if we just doubled our budget, we currently spend $500 a day. If we just double it to 1K, it wouldn't help us. So we wouldn't get more impressions by just increasing our budget, which is always the easiest way to scale. So we would have to dig a little bit deeper. We see that we are losing 20.32% of impressions due to rank. And rank can mean two things. The first thing can be that we need to increase our maximum CPC bid. And this is something that we can actually do to scale at this point in time. Because you have to think about it that way. Currently we have a bid of $2 and we are not spending our whole budget. But if we now increase our CPC bid, for example, to $3, even though we might not spend all of these $3 per click, we get higher positions in the auction because AdWords knows, okay, they are willing to spend more, they're willing to bid more, and they might give us more impressions and clicks because, you know, we are taking basically space and clicks from other advertisers. So this is the first thing that we can do. The second thing that we can do at this point, this is a shopping campaign. We can go in our feed and we can enlarge our keyword density. So, or not really keyword density, but we can add more keywords. So if we have a product in our feed and currently we are not spending our budget, or we want to get more clicks and impressions, we have to add more keywords to this feed that are of course relevant. So let's say you are selling some kind of gaming headset or so, and you left some keywords out that might fit well with this product. You want to add them in order to show up for more queries, because if you cannot spend your whole daily budget, you clearly want to show up more often. So this would be the next logical step to do right here. So in this case right here, we want to scale a shopping campaign and we cannot do this by budget. We would have to either increase our CPC in order to show up more often, or we would have to add more keywords to our feed. Now, if this was a search campaign and not a shopping campaign, we would go a little bit differently. We would go ahead and have a look at our keywords, and let's say that currently we are having like exact match keywords. So let's say we have a product called dog necklace, and we are currently not spending our $100. We are probably only spending $50. So we want to think about losing the match type a little bit. So instead of dog necklace in exact match, we probably go with dog necklace in phrase match. So now we automatically get more queries because we also show up for things like where to buy dog necklace or dog necklace online or something. The next step would be that we go to broad match modifier. Now we can also show up for things like where can I buy a necklace for my dog or something. And the last step would be that we just use the broad match, and now we show up for all kind of queries. So this is how you go scale your reach and your numbers in search if you just loosen the match type of your different keywords a little bit. Now, of course, it's important that at this point in time, you're also normally losing relevance. So dog necklace like this, or especially something like buy dog necklace, would be super, super relevant if you sell a dog necklace. So while you're reducing or while you're losing the match types, you should also have a very close look at your CPC and your conversion rate. So let's say for the first keyword here, you pay like, I don't know, 80 cents. Probably you want to spend a little less for the second, and you want to spend a little less for the third, and you want to spend even less for the dog necklace broad match, because you don't want to get all this kind of traffic. If you have a broad match, you can rank up for all kind of useless stuff. So your CPC bid should always reflect the current keyword type that you're using. Obviously, the most profitable and the most important ones also get the highest CPC bid. So this is generally one way out of many different ways to scale a search campaign. Obviously, I cannot put all of these ways in this video here. However, one important thing, of course, is when it comes to scaling, that you have to keep your ROI. And this was also part of the question when you guys asked me about scaling. And keeping your ROI can be difficult. Besides things like the one I mentioned here, having a close look at your CPC and having different bids for each match type, one thing that is important when you scale, whether it's because of budget or reach or whatever, you should have a look at your most profitable source of traffic. It's a little difficult to explain, but if we go to devices, for example, this was something that I would definitely have a look at when scaling. So we see here in the last 7 days, we get a 4.35 conversion value divided by cost, which means return on ad spend. And we see that mobile phones in this campaign, actually this is not very common, they have a way higher conversion rate, they have a way better return on ad spend. And we see that desktop, normally working better, almost cost us double as much per conversion than mobile. So right now this is okay, because at $9.50 we are still making a pretty good profit on this one. But if we now wanted to scale and we wanted to double our reach and double our budget and whatever, we know that normally all numbers go up. So the cost per conversion probably goes from $5.48 to, let's say, $6.48 or even $7 or something. And we don't actually want to increase the cost for computers even more. So this is something that we would check when scaling. We would now go ahead and say, for example, that we want to decrease the bid for computers by 25%. Now this, of course, would give us, again, a little less traffic, because we are basically excluding some kind of computer clicks that we would normally have gotten, but this helps us staying positive in our ROI or keeping our high ROI. At the same time, in order to not lose a lot of potential clicks, we could also increase the bid adjustment for mobile phones. So we reduce the ones for computer, we increase the ones for mobile phones. Now we get more clicks for mobile, which for us work better, less for computer. This helps us staying ROI positive. The next thing that we can check is we go to the ad schedule, for example, and we have the different days right here. And normally I don't use it that often, but if you have enough data, you can have a look at the days, for example, and see if there is a clear breakout. In our example here, we see that Sundays cost us $9.66 per conversion, while all the other days cost us around half this amount. Now this is a very clear thing. Oh, basically the Thursday is also quite expensive, but normally when these are all similar, like $5.60, $4.70, this is not a problem. You shouldn't do any decision because of that. But if you have a clear breakout like here, it can be statistically significant, and it can mean that for whatever reason Sundays are not working that well, or probably also Thursdays. So when you want to scale, you could put more money into the other days and reach and give more broader keywords and stuff like this, but exclude all the things that don't work that well. And in this case, this also means the day. So we would go to the ad schedule and we would create a schedule where we are not showing on Sundays, for example. So if you keep this in mind, having a look at the ad schedule, having a look at the devices in order to keep your ROI better, then going for, if it's shopping, improving your feed or adding more keywords to your feed, or if it's search, losing the match types a little bit, this will help you scale, and it will help you scale profitably or more profitably. One last thing that you can also do is, once you start scaling, you can create an experiment for your campaign. So you can go ahead and double your campaign in an experiment, and you can use manual CPC for the first one and target CPA for the second one. And you launch this experiment once you scale, so once you increase your budget. And then you will see which works better. Is the target CPA outperforming the manual CPC one, or the other way around? This way you can determine if one of them works better and that way you will keep higher profits when you launch that new increased budget campaign. So I hope that this was a good answer for your question, guys. Yeah, well, as I said, if you want to learn a little bit more about scaling, and if you want to have a cool little cheat sheet that helps you, please download the free one that I have for you in the description. Also, as always, if you truly want to go beyond these things right here that we discuss, check the eCom PPC Academy course, and follow me on Snapchat for some daily tips and some more info on AdWords and e-commerce. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Wish you all the best. Bye bye.